Brad Williams, XL Prime, when we're dealing with numbers, what happens if we run into a tie? What do I mean by a tie? Well, here, let's say we have a product. We have the same price, and we want to rank these. Doesn't matter what the product is. Just look at, we have this conflict here. We want to rank by retail price. What happens? Well, without diving into the solution just yet, you can see that there's a problem here. And then here's just a different approach, but the output is comparable. And then over here, it's the solution. Here, we're going to use rank and COUNTIF. We're going to incorporate 3 different examples using pretty much the same layout. There are some tricks you can incorporate in order to identify or read it as you want. Here, using an assist column, well, we're not using an assist column, but you can. And a formula created with the rank and COUNTIF function, using an assist column and a formula created with the rank and COUNTIF function, you can actively sort numeric only data, numbers only, using this approach. Newer versions of Excel have a sort function. It makes life really, really simple. You would just hit sort, you'd hit this list, you'd say ties, resolve everything under one umbrella. Old school, we got to use this approach here. We got to have to use this or this or this. This formula serves as the foundation for a formula that can extract and display data using a predefined sort order. Here's an example. The rank function is used to generate a ranking. Rank C5 retail 427. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. But if we try to just use the rank, we're going to run into this problem here, this tie situation. Here, for convenience, rank uses the name range. Well, our name range is C5 to C11. Good enough. You got that? By default, rank will assign 1 to the most significant value, 2 to the second most significant value, and so on. This works flawlessly, provided that all numeric values are unique. To handle duplicate numerical values, however, we must use the COUNTIF function to break ties. The result of this formula is added to the value returned by rank. Okay, this right here, rank, will do its job if everything is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're sorting. But here we have duplicates. This is not the fix. This is just an introduction as to identifying and recognizing duplicates, counting. Observe that the list is entered as a mixed reference. Well, this is not the solution. This is just an introduction. This is the fix right here. Use to settle ties. Here, I'm bringing this COUNTIF in to show you the problem if you don't use the tiebreaker. Looking down here, if we're looking at this rank deal, we want to look at, well, let's just start with the COUNTIF. Let's go right to left, tear this thing apart. COUNTIF retail is this price in retail 427? Well, we have 1. We have 738. We're going to count it. Well, there's 1. And so on and so forth until we get down to the bottom. You see, there are 2. Red flag, ding, ding, ding. What happens? Then we decided, well, why don't we put a -1 here? Why? I don't know, just to see what's going on here. We have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then we have this tie. Then we go over and we throw in the rank. Rank on its own, this is what rank does. 1, 6, 2, 5, 7, 3, 3. Then our formula here is add them together. So we have 1, 6, 2, 5, 7, 4, 4. 1, 6, 2, 5, 7, 4, 4. If you don't include the -1, you have 1, 6, 2, 5, 7, 3, 3. Everything else matches until we run into the duplicates. The -1, it's going to increment up 1 number. You can see the 3 is not included. Here, the 4 is not included. Kind of just screws up everything, doesn't it? So the point is, if you happen to add a -1 or not, you can see there's not a -1 here. All we did was we used rank C4, C11, and this is the outcome. We didn't use the COUNTIF. We used the COUNTIF here. Here, if you're just using the rank, you're going to run into this problem. Here is the rank I'm talking about. This does not include the name range. Either way, you're going to see that there is a tie, and we need to fix it. How do we fix it? Well, it's simple. We just use the COUNTIF, and then, we have that expanding range thing. How does it work? We're just counting down the rows. And then if we run into a duplicate, we're going to subtract 1. So here, what happens? Well, it's going to be 0. So we're not subtracting 1. But here, we're going to subtract 1. Let's see what happens here. So looking at this, looking at COUNTIF, forget looking at this one. We're just going to go COUNTIF C5, C5, C5. We're going to get 1. And then we're going to get 1. And then we're going to get 1. And here is the output. 1, COUNTIF C5, C5, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Why? We're counting this. Well, there's 1. There's 1. There's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then there's 2. So that's the strength of this expanding range deal, is that it's just doing its job. And then we're just going to subtract 1. Why? Well, because rank is it's going to rank this, and then we're going to add 1 to it. We're going to add this. You're just going to add whatever the final outcome there, and it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 1. The end result is 4 plus 0. 7 plus 0. And then we get all the way down here, we're going to get, well, I'm sorry, you can put a big X here. We're going to get 1 plus 0, and then we're going to get 1 plus 1 to break the tie. You see here? You see this number, this 1 here? 1. Here's our rank. Here's the rank by itself. Going to add 1. Voila. We're done. So that's why you put a big X through here. Because if you did this, you notice there's no number 1 here. We would start and we'd go 2 plus 0. And then we'd go 2 plus 1. We'll never get to 1. And then we'll have duplicate 3s. So you can put a big red here. And do not use this. No, no, no. All right, anyway, what seemingly looks like a snap can be a little frustrating at times, only because it's this expanding range, doing the simple math, combining it can be confusing at times. Brad Williams, XL Prime, thanks for watching.